first thing is the microphone says, right, if any of you are thinking about heckling, just know I'm carrying a knife.
Morning walkers, we're just here in Box Hill in Surrey today. We're going for a walk with the brilliant Max Fosh. I got here a bit early, so I'm just waiting for him to turn up, but he should be here any second.
Mr. Knox!
Hello sir, how are
Hello,
you?
Mr. Knox, how are we?
Snazzy wheels.
I'm so glad you said that because I quite like them. Where
Park yourself up, we'll go for a walk round here.
There?
Yeah. So here we are with Mr. Fosh. We're going to put him in focus rather than me, more important. And we're going to have a Box Hill. You been to Box Hill before?
No.
No.
No, I'm not a cyclist.
All right, me neither.
No.
So I've looked at the map and there's a little viewpoint there. We go there first, then go for a walk.
Oh, nice.
Let's have a look at the view.
Yeah. Hold hands. I can see through the trees what we're about to experience, and I, for one, am excited.
I think this is going to be quite the view. It's marked on the map as a viewpoint, so it must be pretty good.
The problem is, Robbie, we've started with the most romantic part of the walk at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, where do we go from here? Your chat must be incredible for it to go uphill from here.
It's definitely not. Wow.
Look at that.
That is incredible. What's that down there? Is that Dorking?
I can't say I know Dorking from sight, if I'm honest.
from the air.
From the air. There's a church down there. I'm always a bit confused about the clarifications between like towns and cities. So if you have a church, are you a town?
So I've learned a bit of this now. So okay. I think there's the historic city thing. We had to have a cathedral,
right? And
now I think it's just done on merit. Because Rochester,
do you deserve one?
Rochester, where I went to school, was a city, and then because of some clerical error, it got city status revoked.
Oh God!
Yeah, like they became the Medway towns or something because they didn't check properly. They did something wrong. They're no longer a city.
So is it to go town Medway?
So I think it was like Medway. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it's called. I'm not sure.
I know Hamlet's the bottom.
Oh my God! There's someone with a much better camera than us.
All right, it's not about what you have; it's how you use it, Robbie.
Do you know how to use a map? Were you a Boy Scout or anything?
I wasn't a Boy Scout, but I did. The posh people did something called Duke of Edinburgh.
I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
That's when we just decided. I don't know whether the Duke of Edinburgh it was for him, but we ended up going walking a lot and having to do volunteering. So I'm well versed in a map.
Okay. So we're down there basically. There's a viewpoint.
There we are. The viewpoint's there. Okay.
So where are we looking at?
So we're looking. Yeah, we're literally looking due south. It's Brockham down there.
Brockham. Never heard of Brockham.
That's the. No, it's Dorking.
It's Dorking.
Got you.
The old Brockham gag.
The old Brockham 1-2. Yeah, it is Dorking.
Sewage plant down there, I think.
There literally is a sewage works just down there. That is the sewage works.
It's weird they put this hill and this lovely viewpoint next to a sewage works, isn't it? Idiots.
It's very British, that. It's like you can have the nice things, but there's also literal down there. You know the font that's on an ordnance survey, don't you?
Yeah, we had a chat. We've never met before, I should say, for the readers. But we had a chat about the font, that you buy the font on it. I looked it up. Gil Sans apparently is the font. Have you got a favourite font? Or any? It doesn't have to be a favourite. That's too hard. But one that you admire.
I use Bebas, so I use in all of my YouTube videos Bebas. Okay. I started 3 years ago, and I'm not going to toot my own horn here. But I feel like suddenly everyone else started using it.
Okay.
I don't want to say I'm a trendsetter, but Logan Paul is now using it.
Is he?
Yeah. And I see it a lot and I'm like, oh, Bebas.
My traditional brand font, YouTube font, just because the one I like and can't bother to change it, is Gotham.
Okay.
Since then, I've been mixing it up. And Gotham, because I once had to buy it for work.
And you are Batman.
And I thought, well, if I've got it, it must be. If I've had to pay like 600 quid for this font, I got the money back from the client, but if I've got to pay this money for this font, it must be a good one. So I've kind of just stuck with it. But I admire Cooper Black's a great font.
Yeah.
Really enjoy that.
Is that how much fonts cost?
Some of them do. But if you've got the Adobe Creative Cloud, you get free fonts on loan while you've got a membership. A lot of fonts.
Who makes fonts? Is it an artist who will make a font?
Yeah, so it's like they've got a word. They call it something like a foundry or a forgery or font foundry, fontery. I don't know. But my friend Jim's cousin, I'm going to say, made a font in memory of his late granddad who fought in the war. It's like a war-themed font.
Oh my god!
And then with it, he makes like this. You make like almost like a booklet about the font and the inspiration behind it. There's a lot goes into fonts.
That story is the adult equivalent of my dad.
My dad, my dad made a better font than you.
My mate's cousin made a font
about his late granddad.
Yeah, there's a fire over there.
Oh yeah.
Should we go help?
It's quite a distance away.
Yeah.
So we're quite lazy.
Someone else will do it.
Yeah. There's probably people in charge of all that.
Probably.
So you grew up in the city, didn't you?
I did.
Did you do much countrysiding as a youth?
I did as well. My dad was quite a big fan of taking us camping. So me, my sister, and then we'd both have a +1. So my sister and I would be able to bring someone on each different occasion. We'd go camping somewhere.
Oh, that's good.
And it'd be one night. It'd be wild camping. It was probably quite illegal actually. But we'd go wild camping, and that was great. And so I'm a big fan of the outdoors, even though I grew up. I've just spent the whole life in the city really. No, I'm a big fan of the outdoors.
Do you do camping now?
I actually went camping on holiday early in the summer.
Where'd you go?
Went to the Jurassic Coast, Lyme region.
Dorset.
Yeah. Really nice.
I got engaged to my wife in. Well, I just suddenly thought that you might think I got engaged to someone else and then it broke it off. I've only ever been engaged once, and so far it's going all right. Not great, all right. Yeah. But I got engaged in Weymouth on a pedalo.
Really?
Seemed to be low rent. Yeah, she's not a great swimmer, so.
She had to say yes.
Have you seen do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
You seen the implication? Yeah. It's a bit like that. Watch that if you've not seen it. It's really good. How's the YouTubing going, by the way?
YouTube is going, yeah, well, good. I mean, I'm a bit of a sucker for always forgetting what you've wanted in the past. As in, the goalposts always move with YouTube. That's the problem. I think that's the big problem as a creator, is that numbers never stop and the goalposts are always moving. So no matter what goal you have for the beginning of the year, or even if you pass it or you don't pass it, you always feel that sense of wanting more.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying quite hard to kind of leave that aside and just make videos that I'm happy with.
It's a good way to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it can drive you a bit mad, I think, if you focus too much on numbers.
Totally. Don't get me wrong, it's great when a video does well.
Yeah. But
when it doesn't, or it does as well as you would hope, I'm trying to try and kind of like compartmentalise that side of things. But I'm also doing a lot of stand-up as well. I was before COVID, so.
Are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that. God, that's amazing. People will often say to me, "Oh, you should be a comedian." I'm going, I would be dreadful at it, absolutely dreadful. I'd hate it. I despise it.
It's nice because the people who are getting the tickets are very much a home crowd.
Okay.
So I'm not having to do the 1 a.m. shift at a pub in Loughborough.
Yeah.
I am performing to people who watch the videos, so that's a nice little bonus.
Did you find it nerve-wracking when you started?
Oh, so no. I went to. I've never said this, but the first time I ever did stand-up, I wanted to go to a place that no one knew where I was, or that there was no pressure about people to come and see me, or my family, or my friends. And so I went to this pub in Dalston, which had an open mic night. And basically, the only people in the audience were the other comedians who were on that evening.
Yeah.
Everyone had 5 minutes. I was very out of my depth anyway, so I thought, well, talk about what you know. So I just spoke about being at private school, which is incredibly kind of been done before a million times.
Everything
anyway,
has, though.
It didn't go. It went all right. To give you an idea of the place that I was at, the guy who came on after me was this enormous guy. He's about 6'5", and he just says, first thing is the microphone, he says, "Right, if any of you are thinking about heckling, just know I'm carrying a knife." And no one knew whether it was a joke or not.
Yeah.
So everyone laughed, but no one knew whether they should laugh or not.
Yeah.
Safe to say, no one heckled him. So I've just been kind of gigging since then, pre-COVID, and I was supposed to be up in Edinburgh literally now, finishing up at the Fringe.
Do you know what? I didn't know. I did know you were doing that in Edinburgh, but I didn't know it was stand-up. I didn't know what it involved.
it's not stand up in the sense of I go up with a microphone and just go. So my wife, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not the Jerry Seinfeld-esque. It's a very much an amalgamation of kind of a Joe Lycett and a James Veitch, kind of melded into one. Drop me map.
Have you been to the Edinburgh Festival?
I have.
It's brilliant, isn't
Have
it?
you?
Yeah, but I didn't go until I was in my late 20s or something like that for work first of all.
Yeah.
I said, "This is amazing. Why didn't anyone tell me this was amazing?"
It's awesome.
Because I assumed it would be full of Americans and really expensive to do anything and all that sort of thing. I like Americans, just absolutely clear. But I thought it was that sort of touristy crowd. I didn't know it was full of young people and fun and...
It's mainly full of like students from the home counties who have an a cappella group.
Yeah,
There's so much a cappella content up at the Edinburgh Fringe if you're so inclined. But it's one of the most magical places because you can do as much or as little as you'd like and still enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to find a purpose to go to the Fringe for a month for YouTube, but not have to do any performing of any sort of that. Maybe I could do walks around Edinburgh with people or something like that.
I think that's quite a good idea because obviously everyone's like, and you could probably get some. Like, I think people would be pretty keen as well because they're all. What's been interesting during lockdown is watching the like traditional stand-ups try and convert over to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because their agents are all saying, "Oh, you need to be on YouTube. Like, you can't gig at the moment. You need to be on YouTube." And some of them are persevering. But most of them do maybe like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
The views don't go so
God,
well.
This is not
they're like,
as fun as I thought.
God, this is harder than I was expecting. So kind of, there's a small part of me thinking, good, you can't just can't just come in here with all the jokes.
TikTok as well. That's the one. Loads of comedians like that suddenly turned up on TikTok. My brother's TikTok famous, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah, he does. It's called Knox Study. He teaches English. I told him he should start this at the start of the year, and he's just about to hit 500,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh my
and he
god!
He does like he started in January, February, and he does English language things. He's a teacher, and he does like this is the difference between
there and there.
that sort of stuff. Or he's got like a video like 5 things you should avoid in academic writing. It's got like 2.5 million views and all this.
That's amazing.
Mad, isn't it?
Is it getting to the stage where he can monetize it? Because I don't really understand how you can monetize TikTok.
Yeah, he is. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it.
No, of course not.
But yeah, he is earning money from it, and I think.
Is it opening up opportunities?
Yeah, it definitely is. And you can see how, I say as a teacher, you see how down the line, it's going to help him in his job in general. Like if you've got a school, you probably would employ a teacher who's got 500,000 people willingly learning from him and stuff like that.
And all the kids are like, he's already a hit in the classroom because Sir is famous on TikTok.
Yeah, unless he does something horrific and gets sacked. It could go one of 2 ways.
Yeah. Is it the yellow one, the dashed yellow line?
Yes,
Is that a path there?
yes, that's what
I think you should be alright if you continue along.
said to go anywhere else.
Nice little bridge.
Bit of danger on the channel.
It's good, isn't it? Extreme sports.
Parkour.
Give us a bit of parkour.
Parkour.
That looks acceptable.
As long as it's in focus, that's the most important thing. Because
Yeah, I think I tapped on your face. Yeah, it's on your
normally
face.
cock it up by getting it not
Yeah,
in
it's so
focus.
depressing that. I did an entire video about untangling an extension cable in my garden. Wasted. And you can't fake that because you've got to wait for it to retangle to reshoot it. I can't tangle a extension cable. That's a new low when you make it up. When you've got content that low level and you're making it up. It's not.
Robbie Knox stages his videos.
Yeah, what a scandal.
Faking his videos, you
That's
heard
how
it here first.
That's how I get cancelled in the end. How do you think you'll get cancelled? Everyone does in the end, don't they?
Everyone does in the end. It'll be some stupid story of when I was at school.
Go on.
No, I don't know what it is in particular.
I'm ready with the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think mine will be a tweet when I'm tired that autocorrect changes to something.
Oh, so it will be a.
I don't think it'd be my fault.
It won't be your fault.
I don't think so. I might be wrong. We'll see. But yeah, I think I will type something. I'll be a bit tired. I'll tweet it without reading it back properly. I'll go to bed, and it will have
It's
and
kind
I'll
of-
wake up and that'll be it.
It's kind of like the woman on the plane when she was going to
Yeah.
go on a holiday in South Africa.
Yeah, a bit like that, but also nobody will believe that I went to bed. People think I just tried to front it out because I go to bed about 8:30 or something.
Yeah.
People go, we know one goes to bed at 8:30. I go, well.
Me and my friends, we often have a conversation. Well, I've said to my friends, do you reckon if you had my phone for 5 minutes, you could cancel me in 5 minutes?
Easily.
They say that, but I'm thinking then surely though, if it's a tweet, like it's very easy to say that something's been hacked or it's been taken from you. Or do you think that if it comes from your Twitter account or your Instagram account or whatever, then it is like... And I think unless it's a video of you doing something stupid or someone else has validated
Yeah.
it, then it's
Are
hard.
you allowed to say my mate just took my phone and did this?
Yeah, but I don't know how well that would fly. I think it has to be quite obvious that... It's like the classic like old message, oh sorry, that was my friend, when you're talking to a girl that you fancy.
Yeah. If they had actually a phone, they could go through your photos, find a photo that's to you, and like if you're relaxing or something like that you've taken like a selfie, and then put a horrific
Put a caption.
like just done this.
Big old dump. Actually, that would get
No, that would be worse. Yeah, I was going to say
followers,
something worse,
actually.
but then I'm going to get cancelled if I say
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I could get you cancelled if I had your
Quite
phone
quickly.
for 5 minutes. Yeah.
That's a video title. That's
Yeah.
a new series.
It's a new series. That's what you have to do. You have to style it out. Go, I tried to get cancelled by giving my phone to someone else, and then you could cancel that YouTube and make it them who did it, even though they had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you just blame it all on them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a good plan.
Any YouTuber who wants to get involved, cancel culture series episode 1 coming
Yeah.
soon, featuring Robbie Knox.
I've been very excited to meet you, Max. Not for I was in general, but also because I get to have a conversation that I don't get to have with many people. Because you do Street Smarts,
I do.
which is fantastic. When I was at Soccer AM, I used to do a similar thing where I do interviews in the street with people. You can find someone on YouTube where I go out and interview the public about stuff. Very, very similar sort of thing. So I get to have a conversation now about what it's like trying to get the public to talk to you, which I've never really had the
That's
chance
so
for
interesting.
before.
Yeah, I mean the Vox Pop kind of like it's the most kind of like tried and tested
Yeah.
piece of entertainment, of like short form entertainment, and I often get people saying, "Oh, you nicked it from so and so," or someone else is,
It's
or
so
someone else
weird
is like
that, isn't it?
doing
Yeah.
a new series like, "Oh, they've nicked this from you."
Yeah.
It's like I didn't come up with the idea of
Yeah,
interviewing
I
people
imagine
on
they
the
didn't.
street.
Yeah, talking to people isn't a new
Exactly.
concept. Yeah.
So no, I mean, talking to the public in general. At the beginning, did you find it awkward or uncomfortable?
The first one I did, it was like a Daz doorstep challenge, which you may not remember, but it was an advert for Daz washing powder when I was younger, where you had to go up to people at the door and ask about their washing powder. So I was literally knocking on people's doors of their houses in Brentford and asking them about their washing powder, asking them if they wanted to swap my washing powder for their washing powder.
Did it work?
Yeah, it was fine. Beforehand, I was really nervous. I didn't want to do it, but I also didn't want to say I didn't want to do it, so I just
No.
did it. And then you get used to it. What's your tactic for getting people? It's a numbers game, isn't it?
It is purely a numbers game, and actually so my friend helped film for me for the first time because my cameraman dropped out last minute, so I called up a mate of mine and was like, "Can you film?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he came and did help me, and he said that he'd never seen. So I do like a very distinctive voice and the phrase every time, which is someone's walking past. You go, "Hi, can I go for 2 minutes of your time for a quick interview?"
Okay.
Very quickly, like really energetic,
Yeah.
smiley, and then as soon as they say no, I just kind of, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
"Hi, can I go for 2 minutes of your time for an interview?" And he's like, "It's really interesting because I've never seen you like turn it on like that."
Yeah.
And then as soon as they say yes, like you're on,
Yeah.
quote unquote. But it is purely a numbers game. Like,
Yeah.
I think the worst thing that anyone's ever said to me is "F off."
Yeah.
And like that's absolutely, I mean, it doesn't faze me at all. Most people, what I am interested in, people who don't even register that you are there.
Yeah.
So they are just blinkers on, heads down. They're not even just going to go, "No, thank you," or even look at you. It's just pretend I do not see you, do
Yeah.
not exist. And so the idea of rejection just completely doesn't faze me at
No.
all anymore when it comes to the general London public.
Yeah. Yeah. It is just, you just have to do it. My thing was, I'd be more specific than you when I did it.
Right.
So if the topic that I was discussing was, for example, your video was KSI,
Yeah.
I'd probably try not to think of an open-ended question around that. Hey, can I ask you, have you got a quick thing for you to ask you one question about the internet or something like that, or to give them a topic or give them something that they might know about, or about food or whatever it was, sort of thing like that. I always found that worked quite well. But also, I find if you've asked someone and they've said no,
Yeah.
you're then sort of tainted for a few minutes because other people who see you, I find there'll be a run of people saying no.
That's interesting.
If they've witnessed this.
So this you're kind of like a leper but only for about a minute, and then you're back in the game.
Yeah. So you've got to sort of. I find quite often the time if a couple of people said no, and it's a busy place, other people are seeing you say no, I'd slink off to the side for a minute, and then come back out so people haven't seen that I've been tainted.
That's interesting.
It's like when a not very attractive guy goes out with someone beautiful and famous, and then goes out with a string of beautiful famous people because people go, well, he must be decent despite all the evidence. It's a bit like that.
I mean, I started with the interviews. Initially it was drunk people because I did it at university.
Yeah.
So that was really easy.
Yeah.
Because even if they said no, they
carry on anyway.
They carry on anyway. They'll do it anyway. That will get me cancelled.
Yeah.
No, so
that's the little clip I'll use at the beginning of the video. Even if they said no, I'd do it anyway.
Yeah. No, so when I would talk to them, I found out very quickly how to talk to drunk people. So, and what people say, oh, do they ever get angry? And I realised that whatever you give to them in terms of energy, they will give you times 10 back. So if you're grumpy and moody, they'll get aggy and start fighting. Well, I mean, not with me. I don't really think I've ever been in a physical fight. But if you're really excited and happy to see them and part of the party atmosphere, then it is really great. A lot of people mistook me for the news.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, God, how low is the bar that you're setting for kind of mainstream media journalism that the BBC are working out there without a light, with just like a tiny camera and a microphone?
I used to wear a suit for it, and I had long hair to here and a beard at the time, something like that. So, I thought people must think, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
People think I'm trying to sell something a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I'll say...
Or charity. Donations.
Yeah, or charity. And so if you can almost as soon as possible recognise that this is something a bit odd, and you basically confirm their thought process, then they're much more conducive to have a chat. So it's like, I know this is super bizarre, but can I go for 2 minutes of your time? 2 minutes of your time is a much better way of phrasing it, I found, than can I ask you a question? Because by asking the question, they feel like they're under pressure. They need to give a good answer, but having 2 minutes of their time, they're like, yeah, I can do that. There's no problem with that. So it's all the kind of little tricks in the trade of still getting to people to chat. I mean, having said that, I still sometimes struggle.
Yeah.
Especially with the KSI video I did the other day, it was quite tricky because I felt like a mid 2010s YouTuber.
Right.
Like I was going to Leicester Square, like the old school YouTube. Like, I'm a YouTube kid, prankster guy, and I felt like the general public were very much looking at me in that regard. And so the people who were keen to talk were all the younger generation, but as a result, they all knew who KSI was.
Yeah.
So I wanted the people being like, no, I have no idea who KSI is.
I think you do it the hard way because you do a lot of it in London, and people are much more used to people coming up to them for video in London, and they're a lot less willing to talk, I found. If you go up north, easy. The best place, and I did a lot, because also at the time I was trying to get as many frequent flyer points so I could get like one of those membership things for British Midland, which doesn't exist anymore. So I was like flying either to Leeds, Bradford, Newcastle, Glasgow, or Edinburgh, or Manchester, the 5 places they flew to, because I thought I can get a lounge if I keep doing this. And I worked out that was the easiest lounge to get. I don't think I ever managed it in the end. So I was doing a lot around the country, around those places. But the best place to do Vox Pops is Maidenhead.
Like near Reading?
Yeah.
Actually not far from here, actually.
Yeah. So Maidenhead has the perfect mix of old, young, posh, unemployable, students, very serious sort of people, like such a mix of ethnicities, mix of everything.
It's a very is it a diaspora? Is that the word? No, a mixture of demographics, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be heading to Maidenhead.
So head to Maidenhead. Let me know what you think. But I found it was by far the best place I've done Vox Pops. They've got a nice pedestrianised bit. You don't have to worry too much about
That's good.
Car noise and something like that.
That's good because you don't feel like you're getting in people's way. And that recently I've got the little trestle table out to do kind of like playing the operation with doctors or whatever it was. And I often feel like in London I'm in the way a lot.
Yeah.
So if you've got a big old pedestrianised section, you feel quite okay. But then normally the police ask you what you're doing. I got stopped by the police the other day.
Did you?
So I filmed filming in Hyde Park, which was illegal.
Right. Yeah, they don't like that.
So I'm conducting business.
Yeah. Okay.
They asked me, I was like, what are you doing? They were like, I do a YouTube channel. They're like, how many subscribers do you have? And I was very proud of myself and both.
Yeah.
I've actually got 240,000, and that was obviously the wrong thing to say.
If you said 500.
Yeah, they were like, okay, fucking go
Yeah.
ahead. But no, my hubris kind of caught up with me there.
Do you find that when you've got a camera out, people come up to you and ask, like, well, I've got a friend who calls it the idiot magnet, because you just get absolute lunatics?
Yes, a little bit, not that much, but I know exactly what you mean. There are people who really want to be on camera in some sense of the word, and what I found is that people who've maybe seen my videos before and I'm interviewing them will say things knowingly shocking.
Yeah.
So they can get on the video.
Yeah.
So I found that quite a lot, and a lot of the time I'm thinking, you're not saying that because it's what you like. It's what you think. It's purely because you think it's an inflammatory thing to say.
I was once in Carnaby Street, not doing vox pops. I was just
Carnaby
filming.
Street's a great one.
Yeah, I was filming some stuff for a corporate client, just B-roll of a shop.
Yeah.
And some bloke just came up to the camera. It was with a cameraman, so it was quite a big TV type camera sort of thing. So this guy came up to the camera and goes, I just want to say something. And then went on some rant about Jewish people, not positive, anti-Semitic rant. So I'm thinking, no, what's he thinking is going to happen here?
Yeah.
Even if I shared his horrific views, which I don't, like, what's the chances I'm also going to be filming for something that is going to willingly use this? Actually, do you know what? You make some really valid points here. We're going to put this on.
I'm going to stop this huge advert that I'm making right now.
Yeah. What did he think was going to happen? Honestly, he's mental.
Yeah, I mean that's the bottom line. But I had a conspiracy theorist come and chat to me in one of my videos the other day. I couldn't get in. There wasn't a break in his conversation or his monologue, I should say, that I could kind of step in and kind of like stop him. So I ended up having a video file like 25 minutes long, which is just constantly going on about all sorts. Went from E17 to chips in your brain.
When I was doing soccer and vox pops, I was once in the street and I interviewed a guy who presumably isn't now, but at the time, this guy was the town crier for Swindon. So he had his bell.
Yeah, the big old bell.
Yeah, but then he started telling me, on camera, he told me that he had a dog whose name was the N-word. I didn't, obviously.
No.
But I think, like, you're like the representative of Swindon. Have some sense that even if you are a raging racist, you don't proudly tell people that on camera. What's wrong with you? This is the person Swindon's gone. This guy is going to be our spokesman.
What's worrying is that is the most, that's the first thing that comes to his mind about his personality or who he is as a person.
Yeah, I don't think it was on the topic. I don't think we were asking him about dog names.
No.
I mean, I might be. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it was weird. So
hopefully, Swindon have got a new town crier.
I hope so. Actually, like some kind of den.
That is a den. It's either that or a bonfire that they're really prepared for.
God, well, let's go in. If it's a den, we'll go in it. If it's a bonfire, we'll check it for hedgehogs, because you've got to do that, haven't you?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because hedgehogs make their home in bonfires. If you make a bonfire before bonfire night, you then have to go and check it before you light it, otherwise hedgehogs can get in it. Unless you want to kill hedgehogs.
But I don't. Take someone's eye out with that. National Trust.
Where there's a blame, there's a claim.
Yeah.
Do you do much den building? The answer's going to be no, I know that.
The answer is no, but I feel like I would know where to start. Just logs in it.
Yeah, I've got kids now, so you get to do... The best thing about having kids is you get to do things that you enjoy doing but can't really do anymore because it's not socially acceptable.
Yeah. So what is the secret to a good old den?
What they've done here is pretty much perfect. You need to have 2 strong trees, or you need to have a strong thing going between them, which they've done, and then just build it up like this. I think this is perfect. If it was me, I'd probably getting a few bits of foliage that I could put over it to sort of blend it in more.
Hi.
I don't think there's room for 2 of us in the den.
No, there's not. There's one thing. The one thing I do like to do though is when I'm with my mates is just to do like the classic presenter trope. Which is, you know, nature in the UK, one of the jewels in the crown of the United Kingdom, but how sustainable is it? Let's find out. Then you do the turn to camera and then you just kind of like walk away awkwardly.
No, but now you've got to crawl out of a den.
Yeah. Oh, there's the money shot. There you go, Robbie.
that's
there's
the thumbnail.
lad.
key on the ground. Does part of you think that it might be quite good to just like dedicate our lives trying to find out what that key opens?
I mean, I do have a series in which I literally do just that. I mean, that's bloody impossible though. It's a nondescript key. We could probably find the manufacturer who made it, but...
I think I might have a key very like that. I'm not saying that's my key.
Is it yours?
I don't think so. But what I'm saying is if I've got a key like that...
You do?
Very similar. Not quite the same though, is it?
I tell you what it is. I think it's been made, yeah. So it's made by the same manufacturer of key, because it's exactly the same like size, just the logo's different. So there will be a key manufacturer that just makes those shaped keys.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Give me back the right keys.
Should we leave it here or leave it on there?
Let's actually set up the camera like this for the view, but it's quite an ab workout, this, isn't it?
It is.
Staying sat upright.
We're probably
on
on
quite
a
slope.
It's on a probably like 15% slope. I say this as if I know what I'm talking about, but
I believed it.
it's a slope of some description. Oh.
Now I've got a
Goodies have you
I got a
got?
Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
And
A
Lidl.
bag for life.
So I've got as a cups, washed them and everything. Got your name on it.
That's so sweet.
Thank you. And I bring a little hot drink each time. I try and guess sort of what hot drink you'd like. You're a man of culture and distinction, so I thought you'd probably go for like a nice strong Italian coffee type thing. I thought you'd probably have it straight with no milk, but because that's a bit of a risk, I'll put a little bit of milk in it.
Okay.
What would be your hot drink of choice normally?
So my hot drink of choice...
Do you like coffee first?
I do like coffee.
Okay.
I do drink coffee. I have to say, hot drinks and I have a bit of turgid relationship.
That's exactly what my channel's about, this sort of conversation.
Yeah, I have a bit of a problem with hot drinks in the sense that they frustrate me because if I'm thirsty, you don't want a hot drink.
No.
So they don't satiate any sort of like basic needs.
No.
But therefore, they're normally always just a luxury item. But with tea mainly, coffee is not as much, but with tea mainly, when you first make it, you can't drink it straight away. So you then leave it, you either burn your mouth or you leave it, and then when you leave it, you forget about it. So it's a frustrating amount of admin for a drink, whereas I just want, give us a Lucozade or something.
Cheers.
But thank you very much.
Do you
for
cheers with coffee? I don't know. There's no rules.
breaking all sorts of social boundaries on this channel.
Do anything, can't we?
That's actually a very nice cup of coffee.
It is nice. I've got a coffee bean grinder now that I use.
Okay, you're really...
Like a hand grinder.
You're one of the bourgeoisie now.
I got given it
It's a
because
hand grinder?
Hand grinder. It's like a... So it's a bit bourgeoisie, but it's also a bit down the mines. Like, do you know what I mean? You're really sort of...
It's the best of both worlds, as Miley would say.
I got given it by Divine Coffee Roasters, a coffee roaster. Not an ad. They just,
right,
they just
okay.
I mentioned their coffee or something, and they sent it to me.
Oh, so it was hashtag gifted.
It was hashtag gifted, yeah. And the grinder was, and now I use it to grind coffee. I mean, this isn't their coffee. This is a different coffee, but
you
I'm not tied to one coffee. I'm my own man when it comes to hot coffee.
You're a free agent in the coffee world.
I didn't used to drink hot drinks at all when I was at Soccer AM, and then I noticed that people who drank tea and coffee got to have longer breaks, will go and get teas and coffees and that, and there's no other thing really you can do apart from maybe smoking.
Yeah, did you start smoking as a result?
No, but there's no other real thing that you can do where you can just go away. Like I can say, I'm just going to go and sit in a field for a bit. I can't just say I'm just going to go for a walk. But if you say I'm going to go and get a coffee, that's fine.
Yeah, no, you're right. You could also, like, can I go for a poo? But then you can't use that more than twice in a working day.
Yeah, there are people who go for 5 or 6 coffees in a day.
Well, I mean, if you go for 5 or 6 coffees in a day,
you would also need to poo.
You also go for about 5 or 6 poos in a day.
But I couldn't say, you're right, I couldn't say I'm going to have another 6th poo now. Yeah.
Whereas Robbie offers as a 6th poo. I looked into recently whether there was any scientific evidence to link coffee drinking and pooing.
Okay.
And unsurprisingly, there has not been a scientific study. But there's
I'm sure John Moore's University will do one soon.
Yeah.
That's the university, but always as a mental study. It's always John Moore's University, isn't it?
at the moment it's John Hopkins are the ones that are doing all the COVID stuff.
Oh, are they?
So they're the ones who are telling us how many people have died, which is a bit more serious than you know the poo stuff.
Yeah.
But
Broke down a bit, didn't it?
yeah. If anybody, sorry. If anyone's a PhD student who's struggling for stuff at the moment, please just study into whether coffee scientifically makes you poo.
Yeah. Is that for a video idea? Or just wanted to know? They're all video ideas if you're desperate enough.
Everything's yeah.
This is some cool workout, this, isn't it? I'm holding on to my legs.
I'm
now
even
because-
contemplating doing that, which is.
Oh, I thought you were going to go like. I thought you were going to go full on, like.
Hi.
This could be for our OnlyFans.
Would you get OnlyFans? What would you put on your OnlyFans?
Me draped topless over the bonnet of my 2008 Vauxhall Vectra Estate.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like put general waste in a recycling bag. Really
I could do that. Like, what about in a crop top?
sexy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how big the market is for my OnlyFans, but
I reckon there's
I mean, there's some weird
some pounds
people out
in it.
there, aren't there? There's some pounds in it. Yeah.
I mean, I've now become quite well versed in the OnlyFans world. So not because I've got it, because I went to a porn convention in January, and so I met a lot of people who used
Did
the
you?
service.
How was that?
It was a really sad place.
Yeah.
It was like the people who were there. So first of all, the punters were a very interesting group of people, but then also the porn stars themselves were. They were two different people if you had a camera and if you didn't have cameras. So I'd ask them for an interview. They'd be quite snappy and quite short. As soon as I'd press record, they'd be my best friend and kind of like draping themselves on me. And I was like, I don't really want this at all.
No.
I just want to talk about how you make money from pornography. Thank you.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah, thank you, miss. And I went by myself. I went to Vegas by myself, and it was just. Initially, it was one of those ideas where you're booking the flight, like, yeah, this is great fun, a bit of an adventure. But actually, I just didn't enjoy it. I lost $100 on blackjack, which is quite a lot of money to lose on blackjack. And then went home. Good video though.
Yeah, fair enough. The what would be your dream end position of YouTube? I don't mean when you die. I mean like, if you could get to, is there a level? Is there something you'd like to achieve? Well, not just in YouTube, but in your career, something you'd like to achieve or be. Like for me, I would be very happy if I could just review ski resorts all winter and take the bins out in the summer. I don't know, just do that. What would be your dream?
So I think when I've been asked that question, it's my answer has always been numbers based. Like normally they are, and so from a numbers point of view, it would be to hit 1 million subscribers, and then outside of YouTube to sell out the Shepherd's Bush Empire,
Right.
Which is a comedy venue in London that's about 2,000 seats. So it's a big place. But as I've kind of got the bigger numbers and I hit 100,000 and then 200,000, and speaking to people who are also bigger, your joy doesn't increase in any way. If anything, it diminishes far more quickly. And so I just kind of want to say, I feel like if you get 1 million subscribers, you can say that you've given it a good go and it's been a big part of your life, and then you can kind of move on. So I would love a routine. I'd love to, I think, work in telly, work in somewhere, just being able to entertain people hopefully for a living, I think is what is the ultimate end goal. But there are little goals within that, like.
So outside of YouTube, do you think you'd like to go?
Yeah, I think so. I think that YouTube, unless you are remarkable, we don't know how YouTube isn't that old, so we don't know what it's going to be like. But I don't think we're going to find YouTubers who have been YouTubers for 25 years. So it's not really a career. It's a job. It's not a career. But I think it teaches you so much about what you want to do. So I want to do entertainment and presenting, and so I've essentially got my own TV show on the internet.
Yeah.
Which no one would have given me otherwise. So
that's it. I mean, I when I was younger, you had to get permission to do anything like that. There's so many opportunities now for youngsters. In that you'd have to wait for someone to go, yeah, you can be on this TV show. Yeah. Just go and do my own thing.
And I love the idea that you can go out, have an idea, shoot something, edit something, and post it all within, let's say, 24 hours. and not have to pass it through anybody, or no one gives you an idea. Yes, TV gives you more budget, let's say, to make a video, but ultimately, you can, once you get to a stage, and we're seeing that now with like Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
The kind of videos that he's making now are, they're not YouTube videos, they're not traditional YouTube videos in the sense that we know, and like it's very impressive to see somebody who is kind of like really shaking up the industry in that sense. So, Mr. Beast, I know you're a big fan of the Robbie Knox channel.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I took out 20,000 bins in a day.
I sorted. That could be your 100,000 subscriber special.
Could it?
Not 100,000 bins, but 100,000 pieces of rubbish. Oh, that's
a lot of work, isn't it? I'm just going to do a Q&A. Because it's really easy.
It's quite easy Q&As.
I was going to do a 75,000 subscriber Q&A because I thought, it's such easy work doing Q&A. People seem to like them. And then Jack put me in that video that he put you in as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a big bump of people that put me, like, so in a day I went from like 72 to 79. I was like, oh, for God's sake, he's ruined it. That was an easy bit of content. I'm going to have to think of something.
For 100, no, just do.
I've just noticed that by walking down this bit to get out of the way of everyone, we're like in everyone's photos.
Yeah, we're now also looking at people.
We've sat down and now everyone is basically sat in a row taking photos of the view with us sat here drinking coffee out of a thermos flask. And
it's a nice view though.
Yeah, should probably get out of the cars. Thank you for coming on the channel, coming for a walk with me, Max. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, Robbie. Mainly just to meet you, because this is what happens with the YouTubers. Like you watch each other's stuff and you talk a lot on social media, but you actually never really meet someone. So
it's been nice, isn't it?
I
think this is the start of a really good friendship, or a really good acquaintanceship to start with.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be calling each other every night, but I think I'd be, I know Max, yeah, he's great.
Yeah, and likewise.
And like the coffee as well.
I just like my little mug with my name on it.
If you haven't seen Max's channel, you should go and see it. It's excellent, very good. Thoroughly recommend it. Anything you want to promote in particular?
No.
Guess his comedy as well.
Yeah, actually come to a show. I mean, when we're allowed, when we're the back, that's the only thing. I don't do any merch or anything. I don't really sell anything. The only thing I want is just people to come to a show. Really.
I'll come to a show.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Nice. All right. See you there.
Yeah, see you there. Probably.
Thanks for coming. There'll be another episode of Going for a Walk next week, which I believe is Tubes. If I remember correctly. Tubes. He lives around here.